Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So, what if I told you that the greatest treasure you could ever find is something you already have? It sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, today we're going to dive into this simple little story that has a huge message about discovering the wealth that's already lying within us. So, the source material we're digging into today kicks off with this massive question. It sounds all high minded and maybe a little out of reach for most of us, right? But the thing is, the answer doesn't start with some complicated dictionary definition. Nope. It starts with a simple story. It's this really powerful tale about a beggar. But, as you'll see, it's not really about him. It's a story about, well, all of us. Let's get into it. Okay, so picture this. For over 30 years, a guy has been sitting in the exact same spot, day in, day out, living the same life, totally unaware of this incredible treasure sitting right underneath him. You know the drill. His day starts just like any other. He holds out his cap, a gesture he's probably done a million times. But today is different. His whole routine is about to get turned upside down. And this stranger, he offers something way more valuable than a few coins. He offers a question. He totally shifts the beggar's focus away from what he doesn't have to, well, what he's been sitting on this whole time. And the beggar's reply, he's just like, nothing. It's just an old box. And here we go. This is the absolute key moment. The stranger doesn't let it go. He asks this simple but really powerful question. And the beggar's response? No. I mean, what's the point? There's nothing in there. Wow. It makes you wonder, how often do we do that to ourselves? Just assume there's nothing there? So the stranger keeps pushing, and the beggar finally gives in and pries open the lid. And in that one moment, everything changes. His entire reality, his whole view of his life for the past 3 decades, it just completely shatters. I mean, can you imagine? He was basically a rich man sitting on a fortune the entire time, but he lived like a beggar, all because he never, ever thought to just look inside. This just perfectly sets up the main idea here. Okay, so what does a story about a beggar and a box have to do with us? Well, this is where the author of our source material brings it right home and makes it super personal. And this is such a cool shift in perspective. The author says, look, I'm that stranger. I don't have anything new to give you. And the same goes for this explainer. We're not handing you anything you don't already have. We're just like that stranger, simply pointing to a treasure you already own. So that's the big question the story leaves us with, isn't it? If the beggar's treasure was in this box he was sitting on every single day, then where's our box? Where is all this untapped wealth hiding in our own lives? And the answer, at least according to this text, isn't in some external thing. It's not under your desk chair or buried in your backyard. Nope. The treasure is inside you. It's literally a part of who you are. Okay, I can already hear what you might be thinking. It's a totally logical reaction, and actually, the source material calls this out directly. You're probably thinking, hang on, I'm not a beggar. I have a job, a place to live, I'm doing okay. You might think this whole story doesn't apply to you, but this is where the text really challenges us to redefine what we think of as wealth and poverty. Right. This is where we get to the real heart of it. The source gives us a totally new definition of what it means to be wealthy and what it means to be a beggar. And spoiler alert, it has absolutely nothing to do with how much money is in your bank account. So here's the big idea. From this point of view, if you haven't found that deep, internal source of joy and peace, well, then you're still kind of begging. You're still looking for fulfillment on the outside, no matter how much stuff you own. So what we're looking at here are really 2 different paths, right? On one hand, you can keep chasing those little scraps of pleasure and validation from the outside world. Or you can look inside and discover this lasting treasure, a radiant joy and a deep, unshakable peace that's just infinitely more valuable. Which brings us to the final, and I think most powerful takeaway from all of this. It's a reminder of what that whole story was really pointing to all along. The main message here is just incredibly empowering when you think about it. It's saying that the deepest sense of fulfillment, joy, and peace, it's not something you have to go out and get. It's not something you earn or that someone gives you. It's already there. It's just waiting for you to discover it. And so we end up right back where the stranger began. We're left with that same simple but incredibly deep question that kicked off the beggar's transformation. And it's not really a question you can just answer with a yes or no. It's one you kind of have to live with, to explore. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, it's the question that could lead you to discover a kind of wealth you never even knew was possible.